dive straight in. At the beginning of every month, your salary gets credited to your account, and it's like a promise कि आपका पैसा और आप हमेशा साथ रहेंगे. फिर जैसे जैसे महीना आगे जाता जाता है, आप और आपका पैसा दूर होते जाते हैं. Punjab's story in the IPL has been such, especially in the last few seasons. They promise, but they perish. They have all that it takes. They have that batting FD in the name of KL Rahul, who scores more runs every season than my Facebook DP gets likes. Then there's Chris Gayle, who steps it up a notch every time he comes to the IPL. Then there's Mohammad Shami, जो उस death overs के इलाके में एक और खिलाड़ी. And yet the Punjab Kings are waiting for their first ever title in the IPL. इस बार तो शाहरुख खान भी हैं उनके पास. This isn't funny anymore. Shah Rukh Khan in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy struck at a strike rate that was in excess of 200. They have Prabh Simran Singh, who had a great Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well. They have the world's #1 T20 batsman, David Malan. इस बार प्रीति के पास शाहरुख भी हैं, राहुल भी हैं. क्या पंजाब के पास वो ट्रॉफी आ सकती है? The Rajasthan Royals is that cousin. वो जिनके 10th के मार्क्स आपके बचपन में हेडेक बन गए थे, जिनकी बातें, जिनकी मिसाल, जिनके एग्जाम्पल्स हर बार बताए जाते थे आपको, and then they didn't go forward to do anything else. Rajasthan Royals is that team. Their 10th mark sheet is that 2008 title. They've tried everything ever since and nothing seems to be working. But RR fans, शायद इस बार वो काम हो जाए. Because Rajasthan Royals seems to be the only place जहां left और right साथ आ जाएंगे. इतने options? And then there's that man who at the end of this IPL will take home more money than can fund entire teams in other cricket leagues. जी हाँ, लेकिन Morris जी deserve करते हैं ये पैसा because he is a rare commodity. He's one of the best death bowlers in IPL history, right up there with the likes of Lasith Malinga. And boy, do the Rajasthan Royals need to bowl well in the death overs. Their economy rates in the last 2 seasons, death overs, has been the worst amongst all teams. But no Archer, at least for the first half of the tournament. No problem. Because they have Andrew Tye and they have Mustafizur Rahman. Andrew Tye is a death over specialist and अंदर की बात बताऊं, I've heard that he's clocking in excess of 150 kilometers per hour. Okay, चलो, अंदर की बात नहीं है. He's been doing that in the BBL 10 and if he can produce that kind of pace consistently, maybe Rajasthan Royals will not miss Archer after all. The IPL trophy is kept inside a nightclub. And for 13 years in the IPL now, RCB have been trying to get in. Sometimes they're denied admission outright. Sometimes they get in but don't find a table, like happened last year. But 2021 RCB fans, Sala, they've spent a lot of money on 2 players, Glenn Maxwell and Kyle Jamieson. And both for good cause. Because last year, in the middle overs, RCB was the only side that scored at under 7 runs per over. The strike rates of their main batsmen plummeted during this phase, and that was an area of concern. This year, with Maxwell, can they turn things around? Imagine AB de Villiers and Maxwell take the team forward after Virat Kohli has set the tempo as an opener, and then to finish. Who will finish for the RCB? That is going to be a concern. Because the way their lineup is right now, in their starting 11, Kyle Jamieson, someone like Kyle Jamieson may bat as high up as number 7. And for context, Jamieson batted at number 9 below Tim Southee in the recently concluded T20Is for New Zealand. But dil chota mat kariye RCB fans. Remember the last time Kohli opened for the RCB consistently? What happened? You got to the finals. Can you go one step further in 2021? Chennai Super Kings ke was lost last year, almost muted, and even if you weren't a CSK fan, you felt bad for them. The way they stumbled, the way they stuttered, this was a champion side. Now how much could they turn around in under 6 months? Their power play scoring rate in 2020 was way below the tournament average. They scored at just a shade over 7 runs per over in the middle overs, which was the second worst. Could they have fixed this? For starters, enter Chinnatalai. Alongside him, Moeen Ali and perhaps a Sam Curran can give them that impetus in the middle overs. And then there's that one cannon loading. But this cannon hasn't had match practice ever since CSK played their last game in IPL 2020. And that season was perhaps his worst in the history of the tournament. He scored the fewest runs at his lowest average, at the second lowest strike rate, and hit the fewest number of sixes. But if at all it is his last dance in yellow, please let it not be his last, please. If at all it is his last dance in yellow, how cool would it be for him to get those whistles going for one last time and add one more star on that CSK badge. That's all that we have for you on IPL 2021 Stats Preview. This was part 2. If you haven't checked part 1, which has Mumbai Indians' changes, Delhi Capitals' strategies, be sure to check that out as well.